Hello students, this is Dimple and today I will teach you chapter number 2 of class 8 from trade to territory. As this topic reflects, it is concerned about trading by the Britishers and how they have started their trading and became the rulers of our country. Now, in this chapter, we will study about the Britishers who established the East India Company, how they started their company, how they came to India. They just came to India for a small trading purpose, but how they have started ruling our country. So, we'll start with the chapter. Aurangzeb, who was the last of the powerful Mughal rulers, he established control over a very large part of the territory. But after his death in 1707, as our country were ruled by a Mughal emperors and they were very powerful. So before the Britishers came to our India, we were ruled by a Mughal empire and it was a very powerful empire. But after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, many governors, Mughal governors who were known as Subedars, they started asserting their authorities and started establishing small regional kingdoms in our country. Due to that, the Delhi could not become an effective center, as the Delhi was a very effective center before in the Mughals in the time of Aurangzeb. Now, by the second half of the 18th century, the new power that was of the Britishers which came to India, they came for trading and how they started ruling, they became the masters of our country. Now, in revolt, for this revolt of 1857 started and which was started by Bahadur Shah Zafar. He was the ruler at that time. He revolted against the Britishers, but he was defeated by Captain Hudson and his sons were shot in cold blood. So he has to leave that India at that time. Now, how did East India Company started? How it came, how the Britishers made the East India Company. It was a trading company which have started in 1600 and they started that with a charter written by the Queen Elizabeth, who was the ruler of England at that time. They acquired a charter which was an official order from the ruler that no other trader would compete with East India Company. They would be only powerful and they would be trading in our country. They were fearless. Now they became the fearless. They started doing fearless competition. Means they thought that we are only, no other European countries would enter in our country. So they can make more and more profits here. But the royal charter could not prevent other European powers from entering the eastern markets. By the time the English ships they sailed through Indian Ocean and reached our country, already the Portuguese were there. They made their base in Goa. Vasco da Gama, who was a Portuguese explorer and who discovered the sea route in 1498. By the early 17th century, Dutch also came. The traders from Dutch also came. Dutch made their base in Pulicat and the Portuguese made their base in Calicut. Then the French traders were also arrived. So many European countries arrived there for trading. Why? Because they wanted कि India में तो बहुत products हैं and they were in very great demand. As India had many of the products, what were the products? Like silk, cotton and spices like pepper, cloves, cardamom. This is an important question, that what were the products which were in great demand. So competition among the European companies pushed up the prices in which these goods could be purchased. they all came to India for trading because they know that these products are at very higher prices in their European countries. So they will buy these products at very cheap prices from here and they will sell them at very higher prices. So they will earn more profits. Now, when all these countries came together, this led to a fierce battle between them because they all wanted to trade in India, they all wanted to earn higher profits. Now, this only way the trading companies could flourish was by eliminating rival competitors. They came to know, they knew that how they can flourish here when they will remove the rival competitors from here. So what they started doing, they started developing unhealthy rivalship. They started blocking routes of the ships. They started building forts for security purposes. They started blocking the routes. So they all started fighting with each other. They protected themselves by developing forts, which were big walls for security purposes, where they will keep their arms, and trading posts were protected there. So all this led to a conflict between them. But this conflict was not, the local rulers were not happy with these type of conflicts. Now the English East India Company, the Britishers, what did they do? They went to Bengal. They went to Bengal in 1651. They set up their first factory at the Hooghly River, at the bank of river Hooghly. Now we were very innocent at that time. Bengal thought, they allowed them to come. They thought that we will also grow, they will come, they will do trading with us, we will also earn. So they allowed them to come to our country and do business. Now they started making warehouses there. Warehouses means key storage houses where they can store their goods for exporting purposes, and for there they can trade. In 1696, now they started building fort settlements. Now you can see that from 1651 to 1696, with a span of 45 years, they have started building forts, and we allowed them everything. We people were innocent, so they allowed them everything. Now, after 2 years, what they did, they bribed our Mughal officials and they got the zamindari right over the 3 villages. One of the village was Calicut, which is now known as Calcutta. It also persuaded the Mughal. Now, who allowed them? Aurangzeb allowed them by issuing a farman. Farman was an official allowance. He issued a farmans that they have a right to trade, and that is duty free, which means that they are not allowed to pay any taxes. But this farman was issued for the company, not for the private purposes. But what did they do? They side by side they started doing their private trade. They also started doing private trade, and they were expected to pay the duty, but they refused to pay the duty. Due to this, the Bengal faced a loss of revenues. They faced huge loss in the revenue. This question can also come, what caused the downfall of Bengal? So this was the reason how there was a downfall in Bengal. Now, what happened? The Murshid Quli Khan, he was the Nawab of Bengal. At that time, these rulers were very strong. So Murshid Quli Khan, he protested against this English company. Now, how did these battles started? How these battles started? It was trading. Now, how this trading led to battles? Trading means earning profits, but they refused to give us tribute, and this conflicts between the Nawabs and the company led to battles. At that time, the Nawabs were very strong, and the Nawab Murshid Quli Khan, he protested. He protested because they were not receiving the tribute, they were not receiving the taxes, so he protested against them. They need money for the management, for the people, for the army, but company refused to give them the tribute. So it was this time when the strong mutiny between the Britishers started. I will explain you how. After the death of Aurangzeb, when the Aurangzeb died, the Bengal Nawabs, they asserted their power and autonomy. Their regional powers were doing at that time. Murshid Quli Khan, who was followed by Alwardi Khan, and Sirajuddaulah, who became the Nawab of Bengal at that time, they all were very strong. They demanded large tributes from the company. If they want a right to trade, then they have to give them a large tribute. But if they refuse to give us the trade, they denied right to mint coins from them. They stopped their fortifications. They said that they have to pay the taxes. Now, when the company refused to pay them the taxes, what they did? They started writing disrespectful letters to them. They started humiliating the Nawabs. They refused to pay taxes. The company on its part declared that the unjust demands of the local officials, they were ruining the trade of the company. And the trade could flourish only if the duties were removed. If the duties were removed. The company came to know that if they want to expand their trade, they have to enlarge their settlements. They have to buy villages. They have to rebuild the forts. So this all conflicts which led to Battle of Plassey. How did the Battle of Plassey started? Because of these conflicts, the Battle of Plassey started. It was between the Nawabs and the Britishers' companies. Now the Battle of Plassey started in 1756 when Alivardi Khan died and Sirajuddaulah, he became the Nawab of Bengal. So now the company, now they thought that he has become the Nawab. Now they want a puppet ruler for them who would give them the trade concessions and other privileges. They adopted a strategy to bring Mir Jafar, who was the rival of Sirajuddaulah at that time. Sirajuddaulah, he asked the company to pay revenues, stop fortification. So what happened? An infuriated Sirajuddaulah asked the company to stop meddling in the political affairs of the dominion, stop fortification, pay the revenues. When all these negotiations failed, what happened? The Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English company, English factory at Qasim Bazar. And what did he do? He captured the company officials, locked the warehouses, blocked the ships. Then after that, he went to Calcutta to control the company's fort. Now, how India was captured? How was India captured? Sirajuddaulah, he did not win. He lost. How did he lost? Because Robert Clive, he sent his naval ships to fight against them. In 1757, Robert Clive led the company's army against Sirajuddaulah at Plassey. Sirajuddaulah, he was defeated. How he was defeated? Because Mir Jafar, who was the puppet of English East India Company, he never fought. He never fought the battle. Why? Why did he not fought the battle? Because the Clive has forced him. He has promised him that if he will not fought the battle, if he will defeat Sirajuddaulah, he would become the Nawab of Bengal. And this was the first major victory of the company which was won in India. So Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey was first victory of Britishers. समझ आया? Now, after the defeat of Plassey, Sirajuddaulah, he was assassinated, and Mir Jafar, he was made the Nawab. The company was still unwilling to take over the responsibility of the administration. They did not want to to take part in, because they knew that they would be ruling the country indirectly only because they have the puppet there. So they can rule our country in all the parts. Their prime objective was only to trade, to expand their trade. Now, company did not take any responsibility towards administration. They kept the Mir Jafar to the throne as puppet. But the company realized that even Mir Jafar is also not helping them. If this could be done without conquest through the help of local rulers who were willing to grant privileges, then territories need not to be taken over directly, which I have told you before. Soon the company discovered that this was rather difficult. Even the puppet Nawab, he was not always helping them. But they wanted to maintain their basic appearance of dignity. Now, what did they do? Then what did the company do when they saw that Mir Jafar is also not helping them? Mir Jafar protested them against the company, and he also demanded that they should pay the taxes. When Mir Jafar protested, what did the company do? They deposed him and installed Mir Qasim in his place. Now, when Mir Qasim came, he also complained the same thing. Then came the Battle of Buxar, which was in the year 1764. It was fought between Mir Qasim and the company. Driven out of was complained, and he was in turn defeated in a battle through Battle of Buxar. Now, this was also the battle which was won by English company. So here also Mir Qasim got defeated. Now Mir Qasim, and there was a battle between Mir Qasim and Battle of Buxar between the English company. Now this was also defeated by Mir Qasim. When this was defeated, Mir Jafar was reinstalled. When he became the Nawab. He has to pay 500,000 every month to the company to finance the wars, because he has became the Nawab. When Mir Jafar died in 1765, now the mood of the company changed. They thought that why we bring the Mughal emperors again and again and we make them the Nawabs of this country. Let us rule the country. Now we will become the Nawab of the country. In 1765, the Mughal emperor appointed the company as the Diwan of the province of Bengal. That means that they were allowed to use the vast revenue of the Bengal as their resources. With that revenue, they can buy goods, they can buy cotton, silk textiles in India, and they can maintain the company troops also. They can meet the cost of building the company fort and the offices at Calcutta. So we will end this chapter here only, and we will start the other part of the chapter in my next part. I hope that you like my video. If you like it, please press the like button. I will give you the extra questions. Inbox me in the comment boxes. Thank you, students. We will meet you in the next video with the part 2 of this chapter. Thank you.